living up to what we get, right? And that led me to this question. Hold on, I'm trying to get my privacy set just right so that people can make comments. Let's see, here we go. And so the question became, are you existing or are you living? Because that is a question, right? If you think about it for a second, right? Do you feel like you just kind of getting by? Or do you feel this sense of freedom, fulfillment, or true happiness within your life? Existing is a trance that a lot of people fall into. And society as we know it labels that as normal. But is it really normal? As kids, right, we're told that um, we should live our dreams, um, do what makes us happy. Um, but in adulthood, we neglect our passions. We follow the rules and we do what we told to do. That's what happens. But how do you know if you just existed? How do you know if that's you? More importantly, how can you start living? There's a quote that said, he thought he lived through everything, only now did he realize he merely existed. What's the difference? To live doesn't mean you're alive. You can literally be alive and not be living. But we are gifted this life. But how often do we get caught up in these false expectations and really forget to live each moment, to live each day? Living life is waking up. Hold on. There we go. Living life is waking up every morning with purpose, not just rolling out of the bed doing what you gotta do. Because we all got something we gotta do. Living life is chasing and fulfilling your dreams, doing whatever it takes to get to them, long as it's legal and right. Not giving up on your dreams. No excuses. None. No excuses allowed. Living life is being grateful for everything you got, for everything you have. Not feeling unworthy and chasing, what you ain't got or what the next person got. Living life is embracing change and chasing growth. And I believe every single person that is a part of the Life Changing Alliances family, that's exactly what you're doing. Chasing growth. Not buckling to fear or even avoiding change. Because the one thing that we know is constant change. Living life is embracing every single moment as it comes, not just doing daily chores. It really comes down to control. How much control you have on your life, as opposed to how much your life is being controlled. controlled by your emotions, controlled by your ego, controlled by your title, controlled by what other people think about you. Because you know they thinking stuff. So living life is taking life as it comes, embracing it, doing as much as you can to feel fulfilled. Let me tell y'all something. If you are just existing, that's a long survival. Because you just surviving. Surviving. I don't want to just live in survival mode. At some point, you gotta say, what in the world am I doing? Living is choosing happiness. It's choosing to live. Existing is just being here physically, but doing what you gotta do to get through the day. You all want to start living? Y'all want to start living? Well, that starts with you. It starts with you. It starts with your choices. Shifting from existing to living comes down to control. Taking responsibility for your life and for your happiness. Your freedom. You know, nobody controls your freedom, right? Well, unless you're a criminal, that's different. But nobody controls your freedom. I remember I had this boss, and she said, "You're so happy all the time. Nothing bad must happen to you." You live a little life, just a little bit, and some bad things are going to happen. Bad things happen to good people all the time. And she talked about the job that we worked on. And she told me that she was stuck there. She said, "I'm stuck here because this is the best job I've ever had." She said, "I'm stuck here because my kids get to go to school for free. So I got to stay." I looked at her even back then. That was 2009. And I said, "You're not stuck no place." I wasn't even this Darlaina Rose yet. I said, you're not stuck nowhere. You choosing to be stuck. First of all, it's lots of jobs out there. There's lots of things that you can do for yourself. And your kids is 3 and 4, and you talking about you going to be stuck at a job for them to go through all their school years to get to college, and you stuck here and you unhappy? No, Slim, that's not going to work for me. No. And after that amazing conversation, she was the boss that ended up giving me so much grief, causing me to have panic attacks at work, anxiety attacks, whatever it was, made me feel like I was having a heart attack. That's how terrible this lady was to me after this amazing conversation we had in the beginning. And I end up getting fired from that job after 9 months dealing with her. You know, it's just uh, one of those things. Can you hear me now? Okay. It's just one of those things where, you find out that you're not stuck nowhere. You can wake up every single day to make a new choice. Now, some of the choices that we have to make, we're not always able to make them in an instant, but we can absolutely plan. We could plan our way out of anything. Ask me how I know. So even looking at my own life and shifting from existing to living, and I think for me, it really, really happened after my mom passed last year. I was already doing a bunch of things. I was already, I think I was pretty living and happy and all of that. But it wasn't until my mother passed that I asked the question, am I really living or just existing? What happened to my dreams? What happened to my goals? Where did they go? Listen, my mom left here August 2020. And by her, I think her funeral was, she passed the end of August, like 25th of August. September the 6th, we had her funeral. September the 8th, I was in LA, reactivated my modeling career because I think I'm cute. I think I'm cute. You don't gotta think I'm cute. I think I'm cute. Well, I think I'm gorgeous. I don't think I'm cute. My girlfriend said cute is for babies and monkeys, okay? So I'm not a baby, nor am I a monkey. So I'm gonna say, I think I'm beautiful. I think I can. I know I can, because guess what? I did. I didn't just talk about it, I did it. I went out to LA. I met with an agency, and I reactivated my modeling career 2 days after we put my mother to rest. And I have not stopped living since, because it reminded me of how short life can be, and that every person that you love is not always going to be here. So let's start living now, because I would have loved for my mom to see me in LA. I would have loved to call her every day and tell her about LA, because it was my first time being here. And so it really shifted everything. So I went from LA to Atlanta, to LA again, to Miami, to back to Atlanta, where I started a sister circle here in March. And after starting the sister circle here in March, I had this huge intuitive thought to stay. And I wasn't sure how I was going to stay, but I just knew that to begin living, I needed to stay. And so I went home in March. That was March the 7th, because that was my birthday. I had the sister circle on my birthday. And on April the 9th, April the 9th, a month and 2 days later, I had a house in Atlanta. And from April to May 23rd, I went back and forth getting furniture, shipping things, all kinds of stuff. I didn't know how it was going to turn out. I just took one step, and then another step, and then another step, and then another step. And now, when I was officially moved here May 23rd, 2021, the Healing House of Roses was ready to rock and roll. That's living. Unapologetically living. Living. And what they say, I don't say that to oppress you, but I say that to impress upon you that we gotta stop existing and start living. We could take these bumps and bruises. These bumps and bruises ain't nothing. Some of us have endured devastating, heartbreaking loss, loss of parents, loss of children. I mean, some tragically, some, you know, a lot of horrible ways. Some of y'all living in horrible situations, living with people who don't believe in you, living with people who don't want to see your best happen. Listen, I know what that feel like. And I know what it does to your mind. It may not be physical abuse, but it's absolutely emotional abuse. And when I got out of it, I had so much self-doubt. I did not believe in myself because I was told that speaking was BS and it would never make me a dime. I was told I better find a job because talking ain't gonna never pay you. Can y'all imagine if I had listened to that? My, my, my. If you were to die today, what would the world say? What would the world say? Have you been living or just existing? Do you need to take control? Not tomorrow, not the next day, not next week, not next year, right now. We are coming out of a pandemic, right? What has happened in this pandemic? What did you learn in this pandemic? I know what I learned. I know what I saw. That job that you was committed to, that you said you was going to put 30 years in so you could get you're going to get your pension, you're going to get your 401k. They closed. Are you existing or are you living? So we had to do the pandemic pivot, right? We had to pivot and we had to pivot fast. Hey, coach. And if you didn't pivot, you are barely in survival mode and not living. What is it that you came preloaded with that nobody had to teach you? Because you can look at kids and see the kids come preloaded with stuff that nobody taught them. They are artists, they are singers, they are creative. And then we as parents start beating them with rulers and telling them, no, you got to be smart and you got to do this and you got to do that. And we try to redirect them, but it takes them years to come back from what you did because you told them not to do that. Don't do that. Give this generation behind us that's never going to know a world without the internet, that's never going to know a world without a smartphone. Give them a chance to be creative. Look at these YouTube people. If your baby is a comedian or your baby is a good dancer, give him a chance to live in this world the way that it's set up. Your baby could be a TikTok sensation. They could be a YouTube sensation. It's kids on YouTube making millions. Don't be afraid to either you do it or let your child do it. Support their dreams. And maybe you could get a little piece of your own. So how do you take control? Question yourself. Don't be afraid to dig deep. Question yourself and ask why. Inside of you has all the answers, and don't be afraid to discover them. Don't be afraid to say, I'm living in the wrong house with the wrong person. And it don't matter if it's a 5-year, 10-year, 15-year, 30-year. Because when you know, you know. You can lie to the world. You can show us pretty pictures. You could do all of that. But at the end of the day, you can't lie to you. You can lie to me, but you can't lie to you. When my marriage ended, I was 27 years in. At 27 years, it's like, yo, we together. We not breaking up. We dying together. We done put 27 years in. We done raised 4 kids. We got 8 grandkids, and we together. We wasn't together. We wasn't together. We wasn't on the same page. We was merely existing. We were both so unhappy. So unhappy. And I promise you, if you talk to him today, he'll tell you it was the best thing we could have ever did for each other. We grew up together, grew up, got married at 17 and 18, thought we was grown. And we learned that we ain't know nothing. And so many of us have that story with people that we've been with for a long time, and for what reason? Or been on this job because you've been there. That's no reason to stay because you've been there. I've been there, so I'm staying. But are you happy? How is that affecting your mental health by being someplace that you hate? Hate.
Hate?
Hate. I hate it.
Let me ask you a question. Hold on.
Yes.
Hey, Darlaina.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want to ask you. You said you grew up together, right?
Yep, we sure did.
Was that the before Christ, or was that the after Christ person?
After.
So the before person is the person you grew up with, his before person, or whoever he is right there, right?
Yeah.
So now, what you say, and you said it was the best thing that he, but look at where, I'm saying this because you stepped that at me. You said it was that before person. So now at one church, he said, kill that person, kill him, and then you're now someone different.
Absolutely.
And now you're learning how to grow up together. I don't know,
separate.
Oh gosh.
we growing more, but we growing separate.
Wow.
He growing in his lane and I'm growing in mine. When I tell you we are the best of friends. Listen,
yes.
My ex-husband will rock out for me and I will rock out for him.
Wow.
Any day. Wow. Any wow. day. We just had a situation where I had to speak for him in court. And the judge said, you know, I'm most impressed by your former wife. He said it speaks to your character that you would be able to maintain this relationship with somebody you're no longer married to. And our divorce was final in September 2011, 10 years ago. Feel like yesterday, but 10 years ago. All of the problems and stuff that we had them in our 20s. We're in our 50s now. What I look like still being mad at what you did when we were kids.
Amen.
Forgiveness, it's not even for the other person. It's for you. So that you can heal. So when I tell you that I'm healed from that relationship, I'm healed from it. I absolutely love him. And if something happened to him today or tomorrow, it would hurt me to my core. For real.
Yes.
And anybody who knows that relationship knows that that's true.
Man.
They know. It wasn't a question whether or not I can come and speak in his behalf. What day do I need to be there?
Can I ask you a question now?
Yep.
Somebody's hearing the conversation and wondering, they would say this, man, like right now, a lot of them cannot see themselves going back to their ex. But if you kill, see, oh God.
It's not a going back. It's not a going back. It is a moving forward from this point. It is not we didn't go back to anything. We didn't rehash none of that stuff. You know what we talk about when we together? We talk about all of the good times that we had. We talk about the dumb stuff. I remember one time we were separated and he had a girlfriend and I said, remember I beat your girlfriend up? And then he said, you ain't had to do it like that though. That wasn't even right. You ain't even had to do it like that. But we laugh about that stuff now. Our life really could be a movie. It really could be a movie. Yes. And I probably talk to him every day, more than once a day. I feel like our relationship has developed in such a friendship that he like, your new husband gonna be in for some trouble, honey, or your new and we say things like, my new boyfriend not gonna treat me like that. Yeah. He said, "Oh, when I get my new old white woman, she gonna be right in here." I mean, it's just a different relationship, and I never thought in 1,000 years at the time when we got divorced that we would ever have this relationship that we have now. But it really speaks to personal development. Wow. You have to develop yourself, and when you do develop yourself, a lot of old relationships can be repaired if the other person is willing. If they're not willing, then you resolve it with yourself and keep it moving. And keep it moving. Because I got people like that too that don't want to resolve old stuff. And listen, carrying old stuff is like carrying a big old book bag or a big old duffel bag or a long bag of trash. And if you carrying a big bag of trash from your past, you probably suffer from constipation too, because that is holding on to something nasty you need to let go of. Mm-hmm. So let it go. So would you say this then? Mm-hmm. So would you say this, like, say when you say, do you feel this way? Like, watch this. Like right now, mm-hmm. And I think I can say, I know I have a lot of those things. Because sometimes you'll say, I hate something. Say it again. Right? You'll say, man, I hate this, or I hate that, or that hurts me, or that's getting on my nerve. Like we all still are challenged in those areas of something. It don't have to necessarily be someone, but when you find yourself hating, that's your place to develop it. You got to see yourself growing past those things so that you can liberate yourself, just like you said, find forgiveness here first. Yes. And then, see, this is all about taking control. When you learn how to forgive, you just took control. Yes. You thought, if I don't understand as you're talking right now, then I'll say it. Take control over your life. If you don't, yep. I ain't gonna say that. This is a conversation. Yeah. Listen, like if you don't take control, that person that you're not forgiving is in control. Yes. Like yes. there was times in the beginning that my family would have stuff, mm-hmm. and they would have to decide whether they were going to invite me or invite him. Mm-hmm. Like, what you mean invite one or the other? We got grandkids and we got kids. The kids be like, well, I'm gonna invite daddy because, well, I invited mommy last time, so I'm gonna invite daddy this time. Mm-hmm. No, we got to get along. Yes. So that we can both go. Yes, and exist together. We got to. It's not that hard. In the beginning, we might have rolled our eyes at each other a little bit. We might have. Yeah. But what we realize is that the bigger important thing is our children and our grandchildren, and setting an example for what it looks like after the marriage. Ooh, for what is going to look like if things don't work out. Yes. We ain't got to get mad. Listen, mad make wrinkles. Mad make heart disease. Mad make sickness. The main reason for high blood pressure and stroke is unresolved emotional issue not dealt with. Yeah. Amen. Unresolved emotional issue not dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Yes. Like, why? Mm-hmm. Why? Why are we not resolving these things? And
so you got to look at it on, and like we can't slide past this one, because at the end of the day, it's just like, now, didn't Vaughn have a mother that used to be your, or she was your mother-in-law? And she
yeah, still man. Yeah, she's still living. And you know what she told me? You know what she told me?
What?
This is the exact word she said. In your lifetime, mm-hmm, there will be people that will hate you. Yeah. And she said, I'm the first person in your line. I will never forget that. And eventually, she grew to love me. Yeah. But she hated me. Right. And so outlaw wasn't a term then, but definitely an outlaw. And now she constantly, hey, listen, she was an outlaw. She absolutely calls me. She absolutely checks on me. She was like, "You live in Georgia? I'm coming over. I'm coming over." I have a relationship with all of his family. Yes. And they all love me. Well, that one sister, she kind of don't, but she pretends, but it's okay because that's her, not me. Right. That's on her, not me. But you just got to show up and be who you are unapologetically, and people will accept you or not. But again, that's not your business. That's their business. I don't care how people perceive me anymore. I used to. But you can perceive me however. When I did the event yesterday, this guy pulled me to the side and he said, "Where do you get your energy from? Where do you get your vibe from?" He was like, "You just so amazing. You got so much talent. I just want to introduce you to some other promoters because there's so many events that's happening. I think that you'll be an amazing host." He's like, "So have you been hosting for a long time?" Like he asked me my credentials. I'm like, "No, this is my second event." He like, "What?" He said, "Well, what do you do?" I said, "Oh, I'm really an emotional healer. That's really what I do." He was like, "Are you serious?" Like, so just show up and be you. Do what you want to do, whatever that is. We're often so led by other people and what they think or what they feel. And then we feel bad about doing what makes us happy. The reality is our happiness is dictated by us. So do whatever you want to do and say what you want to say. And it don't matter. I don't care. Listen, I remember being in my marriage and being afraid to speak, being afraid to communicate because I didn't want to say anything that was going to be hurtful to somebody else. But while I was holding back my words, I was hurting myself. And I am determined to stop living in a way that's detrimental to my own well-being. So stop escaping. You don't need a vacation.
Stop. Listen. You just, she said, "Do you remember the shirt that you had wore to the cabin trip?"
The yes shirt?
And it said, "Say yes."
Yes.
Because you don't realize that was another way of you taking control. See, these are the things when I say take control over your life. Stop worrying about every freak. How did, and then I said that right there. I was like, how did that happen here? Like when you say, and I think that's good because I know I always say it, and it's really coming full circle for me today as you're talking at this piece right here. Yes. How to take saying yes, and then when you talk about the other one too, say no. Because see, there's a
and no is a complete sentence. It does not require explanation. And if you want to, you could add an F in front of it. F no. 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 You know, saying my life that people are amazed by is really a series of saying yes.
Yes.
Darlaina, do you want to live in Atlanta? Yes. Darlaina, do you want a house? Yes.
Yes.
Darlaina, do you know about shopping on OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace? No, but I want to learn. Yes. Yes. Um, I know you're not really a host, but you think you could host my event? I'm gonna pay you $200. Yes. um, you know, I saw you at that last event that you did. Can you do our event? We don't got no money for you, but can you do it? Yes. Um, you think you could speak on this thing? Yes. Um, do you think you can come to this event? Yes. And these yeses pile up and pile up and pile up till eventually you no longer living a life that you recognize.
Or just existing.
I am living a life I do not recognize in a matter of months. One decision, one yes changed my entire trajectory of my life. So stop escaping. You know what? People ask me all the time. It's like, oh, you want to go somewhere? You want to do something? No, I want to stay in my house. My house is beautiful. I do so many things in my house. My house is a photo shoot. My house is a workout gym. My house is some place to eat and enjoy. My house, the energy that it exudes. I think if my house was a cartoon, you would see it beating on the block. You would see it. So I don't have anything to escape from. When I go places, it's because it's in addition to. But some people need to go on vacation because they need to escape the life that they live in that they hate.
Wow.
You spend 50 weeks of your life hating your job, hating your relationship, hating your everyday life, existing and getting by in return for 2 weeks of relaxing holiday. It don't make no sense. Why can't you create your relaxing holiday where you live at and then just go somewhere because you just want to see something different?
Damn. That's good. That's so good.
We don't gotta escape. What you escaping from?
No.
If you escaping from something, you need to change wherever it is. In your job, in your home, in your relationships. I swear, I think I harp on relationships so much because I stayed 20 years too long. When I think about the 27 years, and if I'm honest, and if I'm telling the truth to me, at year 7, it was over. And I stayed 20 extra years because my religion,
Yes, yes.
God does not like a divorcing.
Nope. Nope.
I stayed because of what would my mother think?
Yeah.
What would my daddy think?
Yeah.
I stayed because I didn't want to be a failure. I stayed because of my kids. Every child needs a mother and a father in the house. I stayed. And you know, in retrospect, when I talk to my kids, that staying destroyed my kids. My kids talked about the arguments. I talked to my kids about it in their 30s. They talked about the arguments that they hated. They talked about the separations and the get back together. And you know what? I see it in my daughters. My daughters will be in a relationship, break up, and get back together. Break up, get back together. And it's a pattern. They're repeating and they don't even know it. Well, they know it now because I told them. You doing the same thing that me and daddy did. It's not do as I say. They're going to do as you do. And if they see you living in an unhappy situation And they know it. You can't fool babies and you can't fool animals. They know. They know. So you got to find joys in the little things. Being grateful is so powerful. It's such a skill. Finding the joys in the little things you already have will stop you from searching for happiness because you're already happy, because you're grateful for what you got. Don't seek approval. Don't worry about being approved by your boss, your partner, your friends, that girl you just met. Seek approval from you, from yourself. Confidence and happiness comes from inside. It's short-lived if it comes from somebody else because people change all the time.
Yes, Lord.
It can't come from somebody else. And can I say it? Can I say it? This next one, I'm going to say it. Fuck it. Honestly, everything you stress about and dwell on could be managed with one simple
word.
Fuck it. Embrace change, face fear, and just say F it. To the things that you feel like you shouldn't do. Don't do it. Say no. F it.
Wow, that's good.
Find your purpose. A life with no meaning is not a life worth living. What is that thing that floats your boat? See, for me, because I stayed in this relationship for 27 years, it's women. It's women over 50 who feel like they lost their dreams because they spent too much time over there. I am the living evidence, the living proof that you can live after 50 on your own terms.
Teach that.
I am living proof that you can ride with your top down in the middle of an ATL and people be like, hey, girl, hey. But they don't know where I came from. They don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know.
Not a goddamn.
You know, and so they look at what has happened, but they don't know my story.
They don't know the story.
They see the glory, but they don't know the story.
Don't know the story.
But my job is to share the story with women like me. With women who are in relationships that they hate.
Come on.
To help them to feel confident enough to tell the truth, one, to themselves, and then to the other person. You know what somebody said to me? They said, listen, you need to go. You need to go because not only are you holding up yourself, you holding up your ex-husband too. What? No, I ain't. I ain't holding him up. How am I holding him up?
Did you say that? What?
How am I holding him up? And I didn't believe that until I was gone from Philly for 3 weeks. All of a sudden, this person that never go nowhere was out. But it took 3 weeks for me to be gone. What's 3 weeks? 21 days? I'm just saying. Going out with friends, having company, doing all these things that he never did before. So stop holding up yourself and stop holding up that other person. Let them go. I don't care. It's 30 years. I remember I met a girl at work and she had been married for 15 years and got divorced. And I think I might have been at year 20 and she was at 15 and she was like, yeah, I'm divorced. I said, after 15 years? That's a long time. She said, yeah, but it was time to go. What? I couldn't fathom it. And now look. F it. But find your purpose, find a reason to live, find a purpose that motivates you with some meaning and some reason to live. I swear, when they gave me the mic, honey, I let them know this is me living my dream. This is me living life saying yes. Yes to possibility. Yes to something new. Darlaina Rose, the host. They said, well, the hostess with the mostest. I said, I'm just here to show some 50-year-olds what to do. That's it. Find real meaning. Please stop existing and start living. Start doing things that make you happy. Go get a pedicure. Go get a manicure. Go get your hair done. We open. Go outside. Go see your friends. Move forward. Be aware that your merely existing in life is no life. But being aware that you're doing it is the first step to change. Then applying the advice to stop escaping, to find joy in little things and be grateful, to not seek approval, to just say F it, to find your purpose are all steps in shifting from existing to living. Remember, being in control of your day, being in control of your emotions, being in control of your life is freedom. And that freedom is what we strive for. In the book, Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor E. Frankl said, everything can be taken from a man by one thing, the last of a human's freedom, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. Take control of your life and decide to live.
Wow. Sick. I'm sick. I am freaking sick. It is 9:58, boy. Listen. Y'all give it up for Darlaina. If that wasn't a good show today, just give it a love. She got on, but y'all can see that. Let me share something with you guys. This is because I got a minute. But this show has literally, thank you. That's all I can tell you. Hey, Marcus. Hey. You can eat for another week. Man, I was hoping you called on me. Look how these 10 girls. Y'all give it over. I wish I was not driving at this moment. Oh my God. And there's no place that I can pull over right now. But let me say this. As much as I clown Darlaina on Wednesdays, Darlaina Rose, she is the, oh my God. I'm going to try to look at you as I take this curve when I say this.
Yes.
I am so proud of you, young lady.
Thank you.
Because I have been one, kind of getting emotional about it, Jesus. I have been one that have been on this platform with you for a while.
Yes.
And I'm flashing back as you're talking. I'm flashing back to the days that you were on here crying.
Yes.
The days that we as a LCA family came together to encourage you for the next thing. The days that you didn't know where this was going to happen, how this was going to happen, but you did it.
Yes.
And your whole, and it all started, when I think of your story, and Kim even pulled it out, it all started because you said yes.
Yes.
When you were on that job with that boss and it was time for you to go and they were like, are you quitting? You said yes. When you hooked up with Dr. Loretta, she threw opportunity at you. You said yes.
Yep.
So you are where you are today. Do you deserve where you are? Do you deserve what you have? Yes. And I, as your brother in LCA, your brother in Christ, whatever you want to call me,
Yes.
I am so proud of you, young lady.
Thank you. Thank you. That means so much. Oh my God. Let's go. I will eat a pork chop with you, bro. I will eat a pork chop with you. Maybe not the whole thing, but I'll definitely take a bite.
Y'all know I can only be serious for so long. I had to throw that in. I can only be We gotta go, we gotta get up out of this for bad, Lord. Bad girl got me over here crying. Yes.
Listen, I appreciate LCA. It's because of LCA that I am who I am.
Oh my goodness, that's good.
It couldn't have happened without LCA.
Yes.
So.
And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if I can't say it louder and prouder today, take control over your life, because if you don't like it, I guarantee you
somebody else will.
Somebody's gonna say something you ain't gonna want to hear. And at the end of the day, it's only because you decided not to take control. With that being said, have a great day on purpose. We love you all. God bless. God dang. If you're looking for this recording, you better get it.
Thank you guys for watching. If you're just popping on, or if you're watching in replay, thank you so much. Really just ask yourself, are you existing or are you living? Because life is to be lived, to feel grateful for what you have, and just to enjoy. So have an amazing rest of your day. Bye for now. Thank you for watching.